Hey, before any speech I ever make, I always acknowledge my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because he said if he don't acknowledge you, he's not going to acknowledge you as well. So, but you know, every speech I've been making, I've been telling this little story because everybody want to know why I'm running. And I tell this story here about this man that died early in life. He died early in life, and as he got to heaven, St. Peter met him at the pearly gates. And St. Peter says, "Sir, you're here a little early right now." And he said, "Your name ain't on the roll." So you're the only one in history that's going to get an opportunity to decide where you want to go. So I'm going to take you to heaven and I'm going to take you to hell, and you get to determine where you want to be. So he puts him in this elevator and he takes him all the way down to hell. And the doors open up and there's a party going on. He's having a good time. He sees some of his friends down there and having a great time. And after a couple of hours, St. Peter came to him and said, "You ready to go? You ready to go?" He said, "I have to leave now." He said, "Yeah, you got to leave now." He said, "Okay then." So he puts him in his elevator and takes him all the way up to heaven. And they get to heaven and there's people floating around on clouds, having a good time. But after a couple of hours, St. Peter came to him and said, "Have you made your mind up? Have you made your mind up?" And the guy said, "Well, St. Pete, I hate to tell you this, I think I want to go to hell." That seems like my type of place. I think I want to go to hell. St. Peter said, "Okay, then." He sends him back down to hell, and the doors open up now. It's hot. People are miserable. They're crying. They're screaming and stuff. And the guy said, wait a minute. A couple of hours ago when I was here, there was a party going on. And Satan shows up and said, "A couple of hours ago, I was campaigning." And the reason I tell you that, right now there's so many people campaigning. They're lying to you. They're telling you this is a new normal. And I'm going to tell you this, I told people early on, I'm not a politician. I don't look like one, don't sound like one, don't act like one. But I am a warrior for God. Because I believe in the Lord Jesus. And people ask me why I decided to run. I decided to run because I looked at what was happening in this state. I looked at what was happening in this country, and I said, no, not on my watch. Not on my watch, because God has been a good God to me. Guys, I'm from this little town called Wrightsville, Georgia. And I tell everyone, my mom told me I was big bone, which meant I was fat. And I used to have a speech impediment where I couldn't put a sentence together. And I used to stutter. So for 4 years of my life, I never went out for a recess. For 4 years of my life, I never spoke in a classroom. I used to get bullied all the time. Because of the grace of God, though, I got a scholarship to go to college. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to win a Heisman Trophy. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to play 15 years of pro ball. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to be on the 1992 Olympic team. And there's no snow here in Georgia, is it? And because of the grace of God, people, I got a chance to build a company. But this was so funny. Satan got your playbook too. He got your playbook. He try to fool you sometimes. So God sometimes have to break you to build you up. And I say he built me up just for a time like this right here. Because he brought me through this athletic world to do what I'm doing here. But all of a sudden they told me as I got out of football, I had a mental problem. Can you believe that? Herschel got a mental problem. I'm talking about myself in third person, but I know that. And I said, wait a minute, I can't have a mental problem. Guys, I never drank before in my life. Never tasted beer. Never had any drugs in my system. Don't even take medicine. They told me I had a mental problem. I decided to go to a hospital. I went to that hospital and I'm thinking, whoa, these people here are crazy here. These people here are crazy. I'm not like them. And then it hit me that we all fall short of the glory of God. That what God does to you, he had to break it to build me back up. Because he knew he had to get me ready for a time like this. Because a time like this, I'm going up against a wolf in sheep clothing. Y'all seen him? I tell you what, I saw him on Friday night. I don't know if y'all saw that debate. Hey, I saw that wolf and he got angry. He got angry, but I said because of the grace of God, I've been washed in the blood. And he didn't know that. I don't think he understand that. Because I said what I saw they trying to separate my family. And all you and my family because of the color of your skin. They're trying to separate my family because all they start talking about is white and black. And I said, guys, they don't realize 23andMe has screwed us all up, hasn't it? Don't matter about the color of our skin, but it matters about the content of your character. And he's preaching in that church. And he even got upset with me when they started talking about him evicting people. He brought on this Matthew 25. And I said, sir, if you read that a little bit more, Matthew 25 don't talk about you evicting people from that apartment building. Matthew 25 talks about when I was hungry, you fed me. When I didn't have no clothes, you clothed me. He didn't talk about you kicking people out of an apartment for $20-something while you get rich. And he didn't like that. And then he started talking about all this. This is Dr. King. You messing up Dr. King's name. I said, Dr. King got nothing to do with this. Amen. This is on you, sir. Amen. This is on you, sir. So no witness. You got to be a false prophet here now. And I think y'all know that. He's this false prophet that wants to say America need to apologize for its whiteness. I was like, wait a minute. Where is this guy coming from? America has apologized for its whiteness because if you read the Constitution in Amendment 14, it says every man to be treated fair. Amen. So that means that America is trying to apologize for its whiteness, but the problem we have some people in Washington that have forgotten about redemption. They've forgotten about forgiveness. And I said, that's what we got to be. We got to be a forgiving country. But this is our problem, though. We have put these people in Washington that have forgotten about the reason they win. Because if we think about it, it's our fault. It's our fault because we put people in Washington that decided they were going to defund the police. That's a dumb idea. Wait a minute. I can't say dumb. That's not politically correct. That is a stupid idea. That's a stupid idea. You cannot defund the police, but we let them get away with it. Now men and women in blue. Morale is down, recruitment is down because we let them get away with it because we were afraid. They were calling us names. They were calling us racist. They were calling us names, so we let them defund our police. Hey, they've been calling me names. Y'all heard some of the names they called me lately. They called me a coon the other day. Can you believe it? I'm from the country. A coon is one of the smartest animals out there. And you know what? Name calling ain't going to hurt my feelings. You know what hurt my feelings? It's seeing you not protect our men and women in blue. Right now you're making criminals heroes. Amen. They have no responsibility. They're not held to responsibility. No cash bail. Whoever thought of that? Held people to responsible. Amen. Even in the great garden of Adam and Eve, God said in this place you have total freedom. But if you touch or eat that tree there, you will surely die. They were held to responsibility. Now we got people in office. Even the guy I'm running against believes in no cash bail. Letting people out of prison. They're going to make us prisoners in our own home. Amen. And I said, I was watching the other day, I was leaving the campaign office. It was starting to get dark outside. I saw this officer pull over this car, a white car with dark windows. It was starting to get dark, and as he was walking up to the car, I started getting nervous. Because now we sort of want to videotape everything. And I started getting nervous thinking, I hope that officer don't do nothing. I hope he don't do nothing. And then I said, wait a minute, wait. Why do not we keep talking about reforming the police? Why don't we reform the citizen? Amen. Because we all want to go home safe. We all want to go home safe. But what we've done, we've now have demonized our police officers. Because now everybody got a video camera. So now they want to take everything that the police is doing. Well, what about what you're doing? Amen. We got a country that we not glorified when you watch videotape someone beating someone up. I said, not on my watch. You want to ask me why I'm running? I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of they think that they can just run all over us and tell us this is the new normal. This is not the new normal. We can get it back right, but it's going to come. We got to vote this come November in the early voting. That's the way we get it back. Get them out of office. Amen. I told you, I'm not a politician. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to tell them the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell them the truth. You're not doing your job. You need to be gone. You're not doing your job. You need to be gone. It is time for them to put leaders in Washington. Amen. Think about this. No, think about this. Right now, our military. You hear all these great politicians stand in front of you talking, there's peace through strength. That's from Ronald Reagan. They stole that from him. Peace through strength. Yes, you're right. But yet they bringing wokeness in our military. Pronouns. And I'm going to tell you right now, Russia, Iran, not talking about pronouns. How do you feel? Hey, they're talking about war. But yet we're talking about pronouns. And they're making our military now weak. So I'm telling you right now, if we don't protect and get behind our military, we'll have no strength and we're going to have no peace. So what we got to do is we got to straighten this out. It's time to straighten this out. You thinking I'm not going to straighten it out? Because I told that senator on the debate stage, y'all saw it. He wouldn't answer a question. He became Scooby-Doo. You saw him dancing. What's your name? Oh, like no. Tell him what your name is. Speak up. You wanted this. He wanted this. Now he got it. Now he don't know what to do. They've spent $60-something million against me. Can you believe that? $60-something million. The race is virtually tied. I'm in the lead, which means that he don't even know how to spend his money there either. But he know how to spend your money, don't he? Right now, 87,000 RS agents. And you know who they're coming after, don't you? Yeah, they're coming after you. They're going to come after you. I'm like, no, this is what he voted against, though. Do you know he voted against 18,000 agents to put them at the border? Can you believe that? He voted against 18,000 agents to put them at the border. Let me tell you about that border. People are coming across that border like they live here. Hey, we are a country of immigrants, but we also a country of laws. Have they forgotten about that? And I'm going to tell all you moms and dads right now, Halloween is around the corner. They're starting to make fentanyl look like candy. So you got to be vigilant. You got to watch out because there's a new war in town now. China has got a new war because what they're doing to us, they're sending all this fentanyl through the southern border into our country. But we got people in Washington that have forgotten about to protect us. They're leaving this border wide open. And I asked him, do you agree with our vice president that this border is secured? That's what she said. They don't even know the definition of secured. They don't know the definition of a woman. They even said a man can get pregnant. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, no, they can't. They can't get pregnant. Get it out of your mind. This ain't the new normal. This is not the new normal. We need to get people in Washington that are going to speak the truth. And I told them when I go to Washington, Jesus Christ coming with me. And he's a bad man. So it's time for us to get people in Washington that to speak the truth. And then the new normal. This is the new normal. They told us that Putin did this gas thing. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You know what happened with this gas thing? Let me think about it for a moment. Joe Biden went to office. And he was sort of mad at Trump. You know, I get mad at Donald too sometimes. Some of his tweets, I didn't like them. I used to tell him don't do it. He did it anyway, so it didn't matter. But you know what? He did make us energy independent, didn't he? Yeah, but what Biden decided to do, he went to Washington and he gave up our energy. But this was the worst. He gave it up to people that don't like us. They don't understand if he's your enemy, that means he don't like you. And they want us to go to them, ask them to help us. And then he blamed Putin. He blamed the gas company. He blamed everyone else except himself. Y'all even saw the man up on stage that I went up against. He started blaming me. I didn't know anything about his eviction. I didn't know nothing about it, but I found out about it then. I told him I didn't write that article. So why are you blaming me? Blame yourself. Because if you're a leader, take responsibility, but correct it. If you don't know you're doing something wrong, it'll never be corrected. And then we got 2 years of it. Do y'all think we can take 6 more of this? You can't take 6 more of this right here. And y'all ask me why I'm running? I'm running because right now, we're in a crisis right now. We're getting ourselves in a national security problem. Because if we give up our energy, guys, giving up our energy means also our food as well. And that's what they're doing because y'all saw what they did with the baby formula. We quit talking about that, didn't we? And we still got a shortage. Sooner or later, we're going to have other shortage with our food because right now, we're losing our farm industry. This is one of the best agriculture states in the United States of America. Is in the United States of America. It's right here in Georgia. And now what they're doing, because I asked a question. Sometimes people don't understand when I ask these questions because I'm from the country, you know. Sometimes they don't understand what I'm talking about. So I asked them, I said, now, what will a combine cost today? And somebody told me it's about $600,000. That's a lot of money. So I asked them, what will an electric combine cost? About $1.8 million. That's a whole lot of money. But this was so funny. They say it can only run for 2 hours. Then you got to charge it. So it won't work. It won't work here in the United States of America, in Georgia, because you know what? People got to have the crops in about a certain time. So quit thinking about that green agenda right now, because we don't even have charging stations. We don't even have it for it. So let's not think about that right now. Let's think about getting people back on track, because people that were thinking about retiring, you can't retire right now. Not with this inflation. Amen. You know, do they not know they can't just spend your money? It's easy to spend somebody else's money, isn't it? I wish I had somebody's checkbook. I love to spend that money. And they not even, hey, they getting rich though. Have you noticed he made more money while he been in office? That's not what you're supposed to be doing. They asked me why I'm running. I said, I'm running because I'm sick and tired of it. And I tell you, that's not right. I haven't signed a note. Have y'all signed a note to pay people college loans? Hey, can you believe that? Now we got to pay for other people's college loans. I have enough problem paying my own debt. Now I got to pay somebody else's debt. I didn't even sign for it. And not only that, debt is $400 billion. $400 billion. That is a lot of money. And now you signed your own. They signed your own. He said he looked forward to doing it. He went to Biden to do it. And then when I started talking about, you just have did everything with Biden. You seem to have your bike bent so he can ride your bike and tell you what to do. That's what he's doing, because he voted with him 96% of the time. Then he got mad at me for saying, I said, wait a minute, you either voted with him 96% of the time or you didn't know what the crap you was doing. So which one is it? You tell me what it is. You either like him or you don't like him, or you don't want to come and campaign with him. Now he's bringing Obama down. I go, whoa, that's another one. He's coming down, but he don't even live here. He made a lot of money too, didn't he? So what is he doing? What is he going to do here for us? He's not voting with 96% of the time with Biden. Oh, this guy is. So I'm saying, guys, it is time for us to stand up. Amen. It's time for us to come together. Amen. Now, let me see. We got to go back to this crime thing. I'm just confused with it now. I'm confused because have y'all seen the crime? People videotaping. One of the worst crimes I've seen, and you've seen so many videotapes, so many things on television. It happened here on Cleveland Street here in Atlanta by the Atlanta airport. You know where Cleveland Avenue at? On Cleveland Avenue, one afternoon, this is videotape. One afternoon, a gentleman is sitting on the corner, just sitting on the corner doing nothing. A guy drives up in an SUV. He's a security guard. He gets out of his car as he starts walking forward. A guy comes up behind him around the corner as the guy's sitting there, takes a gun out of his waist, shoots him in the back of the head. The guy doesn't move. Like you're watching a TV show. Doesn't even move at all. The guy reached down and robbed the guy. And he walks off. There's a guy sitting there, walks off. And then all of a sudden the guy gets up sitting on the corner, just shakes his head and walks by the guy. That's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part was 3 people coming around the corner, sees the guy laying there bleeding to death, and they robbed him. What country are we living in today that we got people that like that think that's okay? That's not okay. I said, God needs warriors right now. He don't need no politician. That's why I said, I'm not no politician. But I said, when I go to Washington, I'm going to be that warrior he had molded me to be, because he broke me. He broke me and he built me back just for a time like this right here. And that's why I said, when Raphael Warnock saw me at that debate, he started smiling. He started smiling, and I said, this country boy going to eat your lunch. I'm going to eat your lunch. He knew it, and I knew it too, because I am sick and tired of people doing us like this. It's not right. It is not right. And I want you to tell 10 of your friends, to tell 10 of their friends, that if you don't have no friends, make a friend. We need to get out and vote and get this thing right. And it starts right now, if you're voting, and it starts in November. We got to change it, and it's not just about me. I want you to know that it's not just about me, because right now we got to get the right school board in as well. They're trying to indoctrinate your kids because we're too smart for it. We're a little bit too smart for it. They're going to the young minds now. They're trying to tell your kids, if you're white, you know what, you're an oppressor. And if you're black, you're a victim. No, I want to teach us all that we're victorious. We're victorious. Because let me tell you, there is a good God here, and I know that God. And I said, that's what we got to get back to, is coming together. We got to come together, because if we don't come together, we'll never make it. We'll never make it. And I can promise you, those other countries are looking at us. They're looking at us. And don't think that they're not trying to figure us out. I think right now they're a little confused. They're telling all the other people, America can't be that silly right now. America can't be that lost right now. So we're not going to bother them because they may just be testing us. So we got to get it right this coming November. Let's get it right so we can get our police back together. Let's get it right so we can get our military back together. Let's get it right so we can get this economy back together. Let's get it right so we can get this border back together. Let's get it right so we can get our school kids back together. Let's get it right so we can get our retirement community back together. Let's get it right so we can get the homeless back together. Because this was so getting me. Sometimes I go off script. Wait. I'm confused. Why are we putting illegal immigrants in better places than we're putting our homeless people? Why are we doing that? We treat Americans like we're bad people, and people that are here illegal, we treat them great. You know, they're getting better health care, they're getting better everything than we're getting. But yet we're starving. Guys, we got to get this right. It's not right. We got to get it right. It's time. It starts right now. It starts right now. You know, I don't mean to sit here and complain because I'm not a complainer. I'm a fixer. And that's what I want to do. I want to fix it. I'm going to call him Wrecking Ralph. That's what I'm going to call him, Wrecking Ralph. Because since he got into office, he's wrecked everything he's put his hands on. He voted for the wrong thing all the time. And he even asked me, he said, I couldn't believe you wouldn't vote for that Inflation Reduction Act. And I said, didn't it reduce any inflation? Just because they have the name on the title don't mean it means that. I don't think he realized that. He never realized that when you put the name on the title, if you read the whole bill, because I don't think he read the whole bill, because it didn't reduce anything. They even had a party. Did y'all see the party? Y'all didn't get invited, did you? I didn't get invited either. He only invited the people that voted for this Inflation Reduction Act. But what was funny, while they're having the party, you see the stock market is crashing. While they're having the party, inflation is going up. People, this is not the new normal. Don't get used to it. They want to take you down in that elevator. They want to take you down in that elevator and trick and fool you. They're going to lie to you. They're going to tell you this is the new normal. It's not. I want to just leave you with this. Because everyone thinks sometimes something is better somewhere else. I'm here to tell you this is the greatest country in the world today. Is right here in the United States of America. But they keep telling you there's something better somewhere else. And if they know another country better, let me go. I like to go. But I remember hearing this story about this bull that was out in the field. And he had 6 cows with him. 3 of them was expecting calves. And he had grass all the way up to his kneecap. So all he had to do was eat grass. That's all he had to do. He kept his nose up against the fence, looking at 3 of the other cows in this other field that didn't belong to him. He kept thinking something was better over there. So one day, he decided, I think I want to get over there. So he began to measure this fence up. He measured this fence up, and he go, I think I can jump this. I think I can jump this and get over there. That day came where he got back at a certain distance, and he took off running, and he dove over that fence. And as he got over that fence, his belly got cut up all under the bottom. And he made it over. He rolled over and just shook it off and was so excited. But he ran to the top of the hill. And when he got up there, he realized they were bulls too. So that's why I said, don't think something is better somewhere else. We got to take care of home. And I saw this flag standing here. And I'm going to tell you this. This is so amazing. Because I'm going to end with this right here. Because I don't know if you know about this flag and our national anthem. Because I tell you, I love our United States military. Our United States military is the reason we're the greatest country in the world. Because they have done and paid so many price for us to have these liberties and freedom. But I remember hearing this story about Francis Scott Key. You remember Francis Scott Key was back when we had the colonies. And what had happened is the British ships were out on this waterfront way. And they had Francis Scott Key was going to go over to the British ship. And they were going to swap prisoners. And as he got over to the British ship, now they had negotiated the deal, but when he got over to the British ships, the British captain told Mr. Key, he said, you know what? We're not going to swap prisoners with you right now. He said, what we want you to do is to lower your flag. I don't know if y'all heard this. He said, we want you to lower your flag. And Mr. Key said, sir, I don't think I have the power to lower our flag. And the British captain told us that, sir, if you don't lower your flag, we got enough weapons out here on this water, we would take that flag down. And Mr. Key said, sir, you got to do what you got to do. And if you hear our national anthem, when you hear the red glare in the air, what they're talking about is the British ships firing, hitting our flag. And all of a sudden you hear, as daylight came and everything cleared, that flag was still there. Well, this was so powerful about that. Every time that flag got ready to hit the ground, a dead patriot of America, of a colony, believes in the liberties and freedoms that we have right now, he laid against that flagpole to stand it back up. Well, right now, we need those warriors that believes in the liberties and freedoms right now to keep that flag standing tall, blowing freely. Because I'm telling you right now, if we don't get it right, we may never have freedom again. God bless you guys. Thank you guys. Now, thank you.